Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today on Sunday, Football Sunday. Football Sunday, September 28th. Another great, great week in the NFL is ahead of us. We're going to go over all the NFL stuff today. We also want to give a little shout out. We went 3-0 in our college picks yesterday. 3-0. We're now 12-7-1 in the season. If you watch, you saw us give out Ole Miss -1.5 straight. That was a hit. We gave out Alabama and Oregon in a teaser. That was a hit. We gave out Ohio State and Texas A&M in a teaser. That was a hit. 3-0 in college yesterday. We're now 12-7-1 in the season for the season. Also, we do have the Vikings today. We gave out yesterday because the game started at 9:30, and that's not looking too good. 20-6 Pittsburgh, who honestly, the Steelers, the two games they won, they were gift wrapped by the ineptitude of the teams they were playing, and I didn't think Rodgers had looked good. I think the Vikings had looked strong in all facets of the game. Obviously, they're playing Carson Wentz, who looks like Carson Wentz again today, but they're not playing good defensively. They're letting the Steelers go up and down the field, which is surprising me. So I did have this. I do have the Vikings today -2.5. That's not looking good. It's now 21-6 from Dublin, Ireland with Dublin, Ireland with 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. 21-6 Pittsburgh over Minnesota. So we got it before we do our NFL. We got to get to some. We got to get to some pennant races. We got to get to some NFL pennant races. NFL, MLB pennant races. I want to check some stuff out for you. So, as you know, or maybe you don't, from last night in the MLB, the Yanks and the Jays, with one game left, are tied for the division. The Guardians and the Detroit Tigers are tied with one game left for the division. Okay? So somebody's going to be a division champ and somebody's going to be a wild card, and it's all going to come down to this last game. And in the wild card, the Reds and the Mets, the Metropolitans, the New York Metropolitans, with their super bloated payroll and Soto and everything. This will be a colossal failure and disappointment if the Mets do not make the playoffs. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Okay. The Yanks are home to the Orioles today. Yale is on the mound against Bradish. The Yanks are almost a 2-1 favorite. That game is at 3:05. Where are the Jays? Where are the Jays? The Jays. The Jays are playing the Rays at also 3:05. Gausman on the mound against Seymour for Tampa. Jays are a heavy favorite today. Money line is -205. So that's what it's going to come down to. Jays and Yanks both playing this afternoon. The Yankees and the Jays both at 3:05. And somebody's going to win? Well, if they both win, you know what? I don't even know who gets the tiebreaker. I mean, I don't even know if they end up tied. Do they play a playoff? You know what? Let's look that up. Let's look that up. Who gets the tiebreaker for the Yankees? You know what? Why not? You know what? It doesn't always come down to this. So let's do some research because I really don't know what happens if they both finish tied and who wins the division. I do know that if Detroit and Cleveland finish tied today, Cleveland has the tiebreaker and Cleveland wins the division. Uh, but I'm going to look this up. Hey, you know what? This is why we have electronics on here. You know, it's not a perfect situation here. The Toronto Blue Jays. There you go. That's why we have Google, folks. That's why we have it. The Blue Jays, if both teams win today, will win the division, and the Yanks will be the wild card. Well, there's your answer. That was easy enough, right? Okay, let's see what we got here with Cleveland. The Guardians, 310 against the Rangers. Allen on the mound, the lefty for Cleveland. And where is Detroit? Detroit The Detroit Tigers from the Motor City. Detroit is at Fenway. Paddock on the mound, the righty, versus Giolito for the Red Sox. And that game is all these games, all 4 games are at 3:05. Okay, kids. So 3:05. If you want to peek in on some baseball, which I'll be honest, when NFL is on, I'm not doing that. I'm watching football. Greatest NFL, college football, the freaking greatest thing on earth. So all coming down at 3:05 for the division titles. Yanks, Jays. Jays get the tiebreaker. Tigers, Guardians. Guardians get the tiebreaker. Now let's check in on the wild card. Mets, Reds. Mets. Pitcher Manaea, who's their main guy. That's the lefty against Cabrera in Florida. 3:10. All these games are 3:05 and 3:10. So okay, the Mets are at the Marlins. And the Reds, also at 3:10, are at the Brewers. So here's another one we should look up. Who gets the tiebreaker if they finish even? I don't know who won the season series. Sorry, kids, I probably should have looked this up. But you know what? That's what Google's for, an AI. Who gets the tiebreaker between the Mets and the Reds? God, what a disaster this would be for the Mets if they don't make the playoffs. The Reds get the tiebreaker against the Mets because the Reds won the season series. There you have it. So the Mets need to win and the Reds need to lose for the Mets to get into the playoffs today. The Reds at Milwaukee, the Mets at Florida, 3:10. 3:10 p.m. So that's it. That gets you up to snuff. That's all that's left for baseball this year till we hit the postseason. Just sipping on a little Joe here. Okay. Okay, kids. Folks, kids alike, we're going to go over yesterday's college football. Oh, Jesus, I just lost the feed here. I'm really disappointed in the Vikings today. Joe Venezia, if you're listening, your Minnesota Vikings are just shitting the bed today. Shitting the bed. Really disappointed. I mean, they were a lot of people's pick of the week, and I'm going to tell you what, they look like garbage. Garbage. 21-6 still. We are now just entering the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh, Minnesota. Let's take a look at some of the college football yesterday. 3-0 yesterday, kids. 3-0. 3-0. 12-7-1 on the season. We're 14-9 in the NFL. But thanks to the Vikings, we're about to be freaking 14-10. But we're going to give you some more plays for today. Okay. First of all, we already went over Friday night's action. Yesterday, some of the big storylines. Ohio State again looks like the best team in the country. Justin Sane at quarterback had another solid day. They defeat Washington, and Washington kept the game close for a while. They kept the game close for a while. You know what? I'm just getting some messages here. Joe Venezia, I just mentioned you. He's like, I think your pick is in trouble. Yeah, I know my pick is in trouble. I'm talking about you right now, dude. I mentioned you on the show, dude. You know what? It's so funny. Yeah, I picked the Vikings because everybody picked the Vikings because the Steelers have looked like shit all year. They're a garbage team. They really are. I'm sorry. They're the luckiest. They're the luckiest 2-1 team ever. The Jets should have beat them. The Patriots gift wrapped 5 freaking turnovers, outgained them 2-1, dominated the game, and the Patriots had 5 turnovers. And the Steelers went. I'm just not that impressed with the Steelers. I don't think they're that good on offense. I don't think they're that good on defense. Their running back is out for the game, and yet they're dog walking the freaking Vikings last night. This is why, folks, you always got to be careful. This is why you always got to be careful when you gamble. There's no such thing as a lock. There's no such thing as a sure thing. But I really love the Vikings today, and that's not looking too good. That's not looking too good at all. But yesterday, so the number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes, they cover easy. They beat Washington 24-6. Although, like, this was a 17-6 game in the fourth quarter. Washington played some good defense. They hung in there. You know, props to them. Ohio State's the real deal. Oregon beats Penn State 30-24. And I'm sorry, Coach Franklin is again 4-21 against top 10 opponents. They don't win big games. They're always in it. They're always solid. He recruits well. They don't win big games. And Drew Aller, their quarterback, I'm sorry, he's not an NFL quarterback. People think he's an NFL quarterback. He is not. I'm sorry, he sucks. He sucked for 3 quarters yesterday. Sucked. They're losing 17-3. Then the guy uncorks like a 53-yard touchdown pass. It was a beauty. It was the first nice thing he did all day. And all of a sudden, it's 17-10. And then Penn State, they played some solid D, and they went to smash mouth football. They started running the ball and pounded them with their offensive line. And then they tied the game, and they got back in it. And really, I was like, wow, this game was 17-3 in the fourth quarter, and now it's 17-17. Is Oregon really going to piss this one away? But their quarterback, Jaden Moore, he leads them down the field. That guy threw, I think, 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think it was 3 touchdowns on the day. And they take the lead in the overtime, 24-17. Penn State matches. Oregon takes the lead but does not get the 2-point conversion. And then Drew Aller does what he does. He throws a pick on the first possession of the second overtime and game over 30-24. And I think he had about, 150 yards passing. He did run the ball somewhat effectively, as did the Penn State football team. But again, another blown big game. Another blown big game by Penn State. And the whiteout at home and everything, that they don't get it done. Here was a great game. Alabama, Georgia. The Crimson Tide, which was one of my picks yesterday, 24-21 over Georgia. I got to tell you what, this Ty Simpson, he's a good quarterback. He might be an NFL guy as well. He looked sharp. He's young. He's learning. Since the Florida State game, after the Florida State game, everyone shit all over Kalen DeBoer and the Alabama Crimson Tide. They got pushed around. They got beat up by Florida State. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I got to tell you something. That Alabama, sometimes the first game of the season, you're still figuring things out. I think we thought maybe a little more of Florida State because of that win. They're still figuring things out. It's the first game. Sometimes you'd like to have the first game against maybe a lesser opponent so you can kind of get everything, copacetic. Like the Canes had to start with Notre Dame, but they did beat them. But, when you have a top-notch opponent right out of the gate, sometimes it can be tough. Maybe that was the deal. But in the last 3 weeks, Alabama is rolling. Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Tide is rolling again. All you Crimson Tide backers, you got to be happy as they're rolling again. And that was a huge, huge win. Georgia had 33 straight home wins. 33 straight. That streak was broken yesterday by the Crimson Tide. Simpson looked fantastic. They were up 24-14. They had to hold on. There were some crucial drops. I'm going to tell you what, the Georgia Bulldogs, they have Colby Young and Isaiah Horton, 2 former Miami Hurricane wide receivers that they plucked in the NIL this year. I'm going to tell you what, Miami's receivers are better than them with the guys they got now, with the guys that they replaced them with. But, they're still quality. But I'm telling you, Stockton is a good quarterback, but his receivers let him down in some big spots. There were some big drops. And I don't think they're any better off with him than they would have been if they kept Carson Wentz. But anyway, Georgia loses 24-21. We gave Alabama out in a teaser. That was a winner. Also, yesterday, Texas A&M beats Auburn 16-10. They do not cover, but I gave them out in a teaser with Ohio State. So that's how we went 3-0. Oh, we got messages coming in. Anyway, okay. So, what else do we got here? Notre Dame romped Arkansas. 56-13. I actually had a bet on DraftKings. That was 70.5, the over-under. I'm like, 70.5? That's easy money. Easy money. So I go on DraftKings and I take the under. This was not one of my official picks, but I did nail this one yesterday. And I'm like, it's 45-13.5. I'm like, what the hell happened? I'm going to lose this. It's 58 points scored in the first half. But somehow I held on, and it was 56-13 final. Arkansas was absolutely humiliated yesterday at home by Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a good team. I know they're only 2-2, but they've had some tough opposition, some tough losses. They could run this table from here on. Watch the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and their young quarterback, C.J. Carr. Tennessee beat Mississippi State in a great game, one-score game. That was a fantastic game. Indiana beats Iowa 20, I believe it was 21-15. USC disappoints 34-32 at Illinois. I mean, the Trojans, just when you want to start feeling good about them, they lose a game against a ranked opponent on the road, which makes a lot of their wins look kind of, they're beating up on some scrub teams. And I think they're much improved, but I would really like to see them win that game. They lost it on the last second field goal, 34-32. Ole Miss looked fantastic beating LSU. LSU's overrated. I'm sorry. They have a quality roster, but that quarterback Nussmeier is supposed to be an NFL guy. He's overrated. I got to give Lane Kiffin credit. Going for it on that 4th and 3 at the end of the game to seal the deal and run out the clock. That was ballsy. Ballsy, Lane. That was ballsy. I like coaches with balls. Duke rolls Syracuse. Coach Prime's team blew it to BYU, but I did actually put a little wager on Colorado plus 6.5 last night, and BYU wins 24-21. And you know what? That is pretty much covers the college football. We got to get to the NFL, kids. We've covered our MLB pennant races. We've wrapped up the college. You guys are all having a good day today. I want you guys to remember to support our Facebook page, North American Sports Report. You can click on the link. The code on the bottom right is right up there. You click on that. You can swipe your phone, or you could just type in the link. You contribute to us so we can keep this thing going via Venmo and Cash App. We really appreciate it, but we're not going anywhere. We're going to be doing this for years to come. And we're going to give you all 4 of the major sports all year long. Hockey, baseball, football, hoops. We got you covered. We're going to give you some good wagering advice. Hopefully, we keep on the winning side as we've been lately, more so. But like I said, no one's claiming to be a freaking expert here. So always be careful when you gamble, kids. All things in moderation. I know I say that a lot, but you know what? I don't ever want anybody to uh, in anything you do, whether you're drinking, you should never smoke, whether you're gambling, you should always have fun with stuff and never go too overboard with anything. Okay, what else we got here? Let's get to the NFL, kids. We got to give you our picks. It's 11:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're already looking. We're 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Vikings are shitting the bed, 21-6. Shitting the bed. Shitting the bed. Shitting the bed. That disappoints me. So I'm looking like I'm going to be 0-1 right there. Okay. We've got at 1 p.m. the Eagles at the Bucks. I love both these teams. I love me some Baker. I love me some Baker Mayfield. Love me some Baker Mayfield. So the Eagles and the Bucks. My wife is actually a Bucks fan. Uh, the Eagles at the Bucks. Eagles are -3.5 at Tampa. I love both these teams. I am a little concerned because the Bucks are minus. They're minus Mike Evans today with a hamstring, which is their best receiver. I love Abuka, the rookie from Ohio State. He's been fantastic. Still no Godwin. Word is questionable. Their tackle. The Bucks are still a little banged up. 3.5. I'm not picking this game. 3.5. I could see the Eagles winning a close game here. I'm not picking the game though. Guys, make sure also you swipe on our little code there in the bottom right and contribute to the program. But also, please make sure you follow the North American Sports Report on YouTube. Make sure you follow Billy DiNapoli on Facebook, on Instagram. But we always stream live from Billy DiNapoli Facebook and North American Sports Report YouTube, and then the shows are rescreened on they're restreamed on Facebook North American Sports Report, and there's only shorts on Instagram now. We're not restreaming this on. We're not doing the full show on Instagram. We're going to just give you shorts on Instagram. The show will restream on North American Sports Report Facebook. It's also on the fan page. There's a North American Sports Report fan page. But we want you to follow North American Sports Report YouTube channel. Please subscribe. And we want you to follow the Facebook channel as well. And always the Billy DiNapoli channel. because that's where we go live. Because honestly, kids, that's where right now we have the most followers. We're trying to swing everybody to YouTube. I mean, listen, we just started this 48 hours ago. We've been doing the show on social media and people have been having fun with it. I've been getting thousands of you tuning in and we've been having fun with the picks because, this idiot right here has actually been doing a good job of it. But that's what we want to do. We want to give you good content and reliable information. So we hope everybody's been having a good time with it. So we've been doing this since the beginning of the season, 5 weeks now on social media, and we just started the YouTube channel 48 hours ago. So please subscribe to North American Sports Report on YouTube, and you'll get notifications. You'll know when I'm going on. Of course, I'm always going to give out show times, but right now we know that our show times are going to be every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. We're going to do the college, and every Sunday morning at 11:30 NFL. There'll be a couple of pop-up shows, but we'll always give you notifications here. So, okay, let's get back to the NFL. Eagles -3.5 at Tampa. At Tampa. We have the Saints. This spread has just gone from 14 to 15.5. The Buffalo Bills are favored by 15.5 at home over the hapless New Orleans Saints. Boy, they really do suck. No offense, Saints fans. Panthers, Carolina at New England. New England is -5.5 at home over the Panthers. The Washington Commanders with their stupid politically correct name. God, you guys screwed that up. Listen, I get Redskins could be considered offensive. Listen, there's no way like Indians or Braves or any of that crap is offensive. But I could see Redskins, but you should have went with like Washington Warriors, and you could have had the old spear on the helmet like the Billy Kilmer uniforms of the 70s. I'm sorry, Commanders sounds like a freaking arena football team. Anyway, Commanders are at the Falcons. The Falcons coming off a 30-point embarrassment to another crap team, the Carolina Panthers, which was hard to fathom after as good as they looked against Minnesota. But then the way Minnesota's stinking up the joint, maybe they weren't as good as we thought. Falcons are -2.5 at home against the Commanders. You're like, what? And why, you ask? Why? Because you're going to get Marcus Mariota again today, the backup QB, who has played very good. Because Jaden Daniels is still nursing his knee injury. I would expect Daniels to be back next week. But you have no Terry McLaurin today, who had a thigh injury, and he went and got a second opinion. I don't know how bad that is. I don't think it's too bad, but you're not going to have Terry McLaurin today. Moving along, the Lions are -10 home to the Cleveland Browns. The Tennessee Titans are at Houston. Houston is -7. Can Cam Ward finally get a win? The Texans haven't looked much better. Jackson Dart, Big Blue. New York Giant fans, where are you? Big Blue. Big Blue is home to the Chargers today, and they will end the Russell Wilson disaster, and they will face the very tough Los Angeles Chargers. I almost said San Diego there. Did you catch that? I almost said San Diego. The Los Angeles Chargers are in Giant Stadium. And yes, it's Giant Stadium, Jet fans. I'm sorry. It's Giant Stadium. I don't care. It's not MetLife. It's Giant Stadium. You play in somebody else's stadium. The Chargers are -6 at the Giants with Jackson Dart making his debut. And I mean, that's interesting enough. The Jacksonville Jaguars at 2-1 go to San Francisco to play the 49ers. The Niners are -3.5. Brock Purdy returns for the Niners at QB today. Brock Purdy will be back in the lineup. That's a good game. -3.5. Niners the favorite. Here's a good game. Colts travel to LA to play the Rams. Now, the Jags and Niners and the Colts and Rams start the 4:05 and 4:25 starts. Colts are at LA. The Rams are -3.5. 3-0 Indianapolis with Daniel Jones, and 2-1. 2-1. Sorry, guys, I have my phone here. Indianapolis is at 3-0. The Rams are at 2-1. And the Rams are a -3.5 point choice. Bears at the Las Vegas Raiders. Chicago at Las Vegas. Two teams, both 1-2. I mean, I couldn't even tell you who would pick in this game. The Raiders are -1.5. One of the games of the day, Ravens at the Chiefs. The Ravens are minus 2.5. The Chiefs, will get, oh my God, what's the kid? Worthy, the kid from Texas, the young wide receiver who had the shoulder injury. He comes back today. That will definitely help them. Tonight, the Pack at the Cowboys. Cowboys. Packers. I don't know how this line is only 7. I don't know how it's 7. I honestly think the Packers are going to kick the shit out of the Cowboys. I wouldn't be surprised if they score 45 points. Packers minus 7 at Dallas. Dallas no CeeDee Lamb for the next month at least. Okay, that's the Sunday night game. Monday we have the double header. We have the Jets at Miami. 2 winless teams. Let's just be honest, 2 teams that suck. And the Bengals with Jake Browning as the quarterback for probably the most of the rest of the regular season. The Broncos, who have been one of the early disappointments this year, Bo Nix has not looked good. They're minus 7.5, though. The Broncos are favored at home. That covers the whole slate. Let's see who we like today. Well, we like the Vikings. That's going down the shitter. It's now 24-6 Pittsburgh. What a freaking disgrace, Minnesota. What a disgrace. What a disgrace. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Here's a pick I like a lot. The Bills are minus 15.5, okay? I am going to tease the Bills. I'm going to tease the Bills down to 9.5. And I'm going to take the Detroit Lions. Teasing the Lions are minus 10. I'm taking the Lions and I'm teasing them to minus 4. Bills, Detroit, 2-team teaser. That one really sticks out. I love that one. But we are going to tease the Rams from minus 3.5. The LA Rams are minus 3.5. We're going to tease the Rams to plus 2.5, and we're going to tease the Packers to minus 1. Those are our two of our favorites. We're also going to tease Green Bay minus 1 and Detroit minus 4. We also like the Packers straight. The Packers straight minus 7. I'll bet you. Get on that now because that spread's going to go up. I also like the Rams minus 3.5 over Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis' little magic carpet ride is going to come to an end. And I would also tease the Bills at minus 9.5 and the LA Chargers down to even. So Bills, Chargers, 2-team teaser. Bills, Detroit, 2-team teaser. Rams, Green Bay, 2-team teaser. Green Bay, Detroit, 2-team teaser. Rams minus 3.5, Pack minus 7. We're giving you 6 today, and we've already given you 1 that's losing. But we are 14-9 on the season in the NFL. We're not touching the Eagles, Bucks. We're not touching the Panthers, Patriots, or the Vegas game. I will say this. I don't have the balls to pick it, but I think the Commanders-Falcons game after Atlanta getting their ass kicked last week, that's such a trap bet. You would think even with the injuries, most people think that the Falcons can't get out of their own way. And why are they minus 2.5 and the Commanders are getting points? But I would stay away from that, but I would not be surprised if Atlanta wins that game. I would not be surprised if Atlanta wins that game. Yeah, you know what? What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? What the hell? I'm going to show some nuts. I'll never pick 7 games. Usually it's supposed to be around 4. We're going to pick Atlanta. We're going to pick Atlanta minus the 2.5 over Washington. Washington with no McLaurin and still no Jaden Daniels, even though Mariota's playing good. So we're going to go out on a limb. We got 7 plays. We have the Bills, Detroit in a teaser. We have the Bills and the Chargers in a teaser. We have the Pack and Detroit in a teaser. The Rams and Green Bay in a teaser. We got 4 teasers and 3 straight bets. Pack minus 7, Rams minus 3.5, and Atlanta minus 2.5. That's what we're doing. That's what we got. Anyway, I'm going to tell you what. A lot going on today, kids. A lot going on. This week, we're going to go on Monday before the 2 NFL games. I'll post the time probably 2 hours prior. I would say probably around 6:30, 7 o'clock, but I'll post it during the afternoon what time the show is. We're going to do a little Sunday recap and we're going to go over the Monday night games. Also, we're going to want to know what happened with the pennant races and maybe do a MLB playoff because we're going to know a lot of stuff after today. We're going to know a lot of stuff after today. Everything's going to come down. We're either going to be shitting all over the Mets for not making the playoffs with that enormous payroll. I don't really know how much the Yankees and Jays really, who wins the division, who not. They're both going to be dangerous teams. I mean, can you imagine if the Yankees had Garrett Cole? Because Fried and the kid Schlittler have been good, and Rodon's been, not bad this year. If they had Cole and Fried at the top, this could have finally been the year that the Yankees had enough pitching to win it all. Because that's always their problem. They always hit. The problem is in the playoffs, you got to play small ball. You got to be able to move runners over, get timely singles. It's small ball and good pitching. You don't win home run contests in the playoffs because everybody's freaking great. And I mean, it's really a shame. But hopefully for the locals in the New York area that the Yankees are in it. It's always great when the marquee teams are in it. Everybody wants to see the Yanks and the Dodgers and even the Mets. But the Mets are like, can you imagine being a Met and a Jet fan? It's like freaking Chinese water torture. Jesus God. Anyway, so we're going to know a lot about that. We'll go over the baseball. We'll do a little preempt to the Monday night games. We have a doubleheader on Monday night. And so we'll definitely be on Monday evening. I'm going to say probably Thursday too. So we're going to be about 4 shows a week. But always you can just lock this in. Friday nights at 6:30 for the college football. I usually like to do my college football on Friday nights because I do have another job and I work on Saturday usually early in the morning. So I did a Saturday show this week, but those will often be tough. So we'll do the full college Friday at 6:30, and we'll always do our Sunday morning with coffee at 11:30 a.m. and go over all the fun stuff for football, NFL football Sunday. All right, kids, I appreciate you. I appreciate you very much tuning in. You've been really crushing it on Facebook. We've been averaging, 1,000 to 1,500 people per show. But please subscribe. Please subscribe to the link, our North American Sports Report YouTube channel. You want to contribute anything on Cash App and Venmo, that's always appreciated. You can swipe the code on the bottom right of the screen, or you can visit Linktree/Billy DiNapoli, low score NASR. Well, it's right there. You can type it in. It's right in front of you. Also, we always appreciate the support. We're going to try to continue doing a good job. Follow me on Facebook, Billy DiNapoli. Follow me on Instagram, Billy DiNapoli, and North American Sports Report. Follow our Facebook page, North American Sports Report. And please, the main thing is we're always going to be streaming on the Billy DiNapoli page and the YouTube page, North American Sports Report. We want to eventually keep most of our action on Billy DiNapoli Facebook, North American Sports Report Facebook, and because eventually, when we have, I had 67,000 visitors in the last 2 weeks on the Billy DiNapoli page because I've had it for years. The North American Sports Report page is new. So, you got like 1,000 people traveling through there. So eventually we'll probably just go live on North American Sports Report and YouTube, North American Sports Report. We're using my personal page right now because there's more people coming in and out. That's our goal. But anyway, thank you guys. Have a great football Sunday. Again, I appreciate you as always. You guys have a great day watching the games. Have some fun. Play some wagers. Maybe have a few little responsible cocktails. Enjoy family, friends, food. God bless.